The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has become a proving ground for modern military technology, including the world's most advanced main battle tanks. Among these, the British Challenger 2 has taken center stage, but not for the reasons many would expect. Once celebrated as invincible and a hallmark of Western engineering, the Challenger 2 has faced harsh realities on the Ukrainian battlefield. With multiple reports of these tanks being destroyed, Ukraine has become what some observers call a graveyard for Western tanks. This essay explores the geopolitical implications, technical vulnerabilities, and battlefield realities that have led to this situation, weaving together detailed analysis and astounding facts. Birth of a mythical tank. The Challenger 2 tank, introduced to the British Army in 1995, was designed as a successor to the Challenger 1. It boasted state-of-the-art Chobham armor, a 120mm L30A1 rifled gun, and advanced defensive systems. Its combat debut in the Gulf War and subsequent missions in Iraq cemented its reputation as a near-invincible war machine. For decades, Britain proudly touted that no Challenger 2 had been destroyed in combat, a claim that lent the tank an almost mythical status. However, the decision to send 14 Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine in early 2023 marked a turning point in this narrative. While the tanks were undoubtedly advanced, the unforgiving combat environment in Ukraine revealed limitations that were not previously apparent. Within months, the Challenger 2's legendary reputation would face an unprecedented challenge. The decision to send Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine was politically charged. As Western nations sought to bolster Ukraine's resistance against Russian aggression, the provision of advanced military equipment became a key strategy. The UK, eager to demonstrate its commitment to Ukraine, chose to send its prized tanks despite concerns about their suitability for the Ukrainian theater. These tanks were modified versions of the British model, stripped of some of their most advanced features. For instance, the Ukrainian Challenger 2s lacked active protection systems, a critical defense mechanism that intercepts incoming missiles. This omission left the tanks significantly more vulnerable on a battlefield teeming with advanced Russian weaponry. The vulnerable turret. Reports suggest that one of the most common vulnerabilities of turreted vehicles, including the Challenger 2, lies in the junction between the driver's station and the turret ring. This weak point has been exploited multiple times by Russian forces using first-person view drones. In one particularly striking incident, a Challenger 2 was hit by a Russian Lancet drone, triggering a catastrophic explosion. The footage shared by Russian sources revealed the aftermath. The tank buried in a forested area, its turret partially intact, but its combat effectiveness reduced to zero. The Kornet missile, a Challenger's nemesis. Another Achilles heel of the Challenger 2 has been its susceptibility to Russian Kornet anti-tank guided missiles. The Kornet, known for its penetration capabilities, was responsible for the destruction of a Challenger 2 on the southern Zaporizhzhia front in September 2023. This loss was symbolic, marking the first confirmed destruction of a Challenger 2 in combat history and shattering the myth of invincibility. While Russian firepower has played a significant role, the unique geography of Ukraine has also tested the Challenger 2's limits. The region's famous black soil, known as Chernozem, is rich and fertile but notoriously soft and sticky. Heavy rains turn this soil into a quagmire, posing a severe challenge to heavy vehicles. British journalists embedded with Ukrainian forces have documented how Challenger 2 tanks became bogged down in muddy terrain, their engines struggling to propel them forward. In one incident, a tank attempting to climb a modest slope found itself sinking deeper into the mud, leaving it dangerously exposed to enemy fire. The challenges of Ukraine's geography highlight an often overlooked factor in modern warfare. Terrain can be as decisive as technology. Tanks that perform admirably in arid deserts or urban environments may struggle in the unique conditions of the Ukrainian battlefield. The Challenger 2 tanks sent to Ukraine were not identical to those used by the British Army. To address export regulations and security concerns, some of the most advanced features were removed. Chief among these was the Active Protection System, or APS, which can detect and intercept incoming projectiles. Without this system, the tanks were far more susceptible to attacks from Russian drones and missiles. The Challenger 2's design separates the main ammunition store from the crew, reducing the risk of catastrophic explosions. However, The tank still carries a smaller reserve of ammunition within the turret, protected by fire suppression systems. In one reported incident, a Russian drone struck this secondary ammunition store, triggering a powerful explosion. While parts of the turret remained intact, the tank was rendered unusable. One of the Challenger 2's most celebrated features is its 120mm L30-01 rifled gun. Unlike the smoothbore guns used in most NATO tanks, this rifled gun offers exceptional accuracy and long-range precision. Ukrainian operators have praised it as a sniper gun, capable of striking targets up to 4.5 kilometers away. However, this advantage is often negated by the chaotic nature of modern combat, where close-quarters engagements and hit-and-run tactics are more common. The destruction of Challenger 2 tanks in Ukraine has geopolitical ramifications that extend beyond the battlefield. For Western nations, these losses represent a symbolic blow to the credibility of their military hardware. The Challenger 2, once a source of national pride for Britain, now serves as a reminder of the limits of Western technology in modern warfare. For Russia, these incidents are a propaganda coup. The Kremlin has seized upon the destruction of Western tanks to bolster its narrative that NATO equipment is no match for Russian ingenuity. Grainy footage of destroyed Challenger 2s has been widely circulated on pro-Kremlin Telegram channels, fueling nationalist sentiment and undermining Western confidence. Ukraine's battlefield has become a crucible for testing the limits of modern military technology. The Challenger 2, once hailed as an invincible symbol of British engineering, has faced the harsh realities of 21st century warfare. From drone strikes to anti-tank missiles and the challenges of Ukraine's black soil, these tanks have been pushed to their limits. The destruction of Challenger 2 tanks is more than just a military setback. It is a geopolitical event with far-reaching implications. It raises questions about the future of tank warfare, the effectiveness of Western military aid, and the evolving nature of modern combat. As the conflict in Ukraine continues, the lessons learned here will undoubtedly shape the future of military strategy and technology.